the grand finale is such an epic track. I mean, to me, it's right there with the symphony. It is. It resonates with me deeply when I look back, obviously, because that is the last time that version of NWA was all on a track together.
Isn't that amazing? And so poignant that it was called the grand finale. Because that was it. That was the last NWA song ever made. That was it. That was the grand finale. Now, there have been renditions of guys coming back together, but this is just my humble opinion. You could never make another NWA record because Easy's gone. It just doesn't exist anymore without that piece. Those guys could come together and celebrate. But what Easy meant to that whole movement was just so massive, you can't duplicate it, That's just my humble opinion.
There's a quote here from Dick Griffey. And maybe you've seen this before, but Dick Griffey, he had a quote about you. He said, "The DOC was the guy that came up with those great stories. He was probably the single most influential person in gangsta rap."
Mm. Well, I played my role, for sure. But I followed, man. I just wanted to be a part of a winning team back then. And I was. And Cube, bar for bar, I did my part, but Cube's got some of the greatest stories ever on wax, and they're real. And, it's like these aren't based on things. They're the real things translated into wax, and they just work really well. And I use no Vaseline, partly because I'm not in it. And, that to me was Cube's mark on the West Coast, period. That made him the coldest, in the game to me on the West Coast. Before Snoop came along, there was nobody but Cube for me, and I held a space somewhere in that universe, but I followed behind Cube Iceman, if I'm being really honest. He's the voice, the heart and soul of that movement for me.